Hey, what's up, fellow Marauders? It's your boy Kellz, aka Special K, back at you again. Happy Saturday, May 23rd of 2020. Your boy is still quarantining with the best. As you can see, usually I'm rocking the cap, but I got my quarantine head going on right now. I'm looking to get a fresh cut this next Friday, and I am excited. So hopefully everybody's doing well. Welcome back to the next episode of the Culture Marauders podcast, the show where we maraud on all culture and deliver the goods to you, the listeners, aka the masses. And it's powered by pod decks. So again, what are pod decks, right? So pod decks are a tool for podcasters and content creators to have more meaningful conversations and create better content. The interview deck contains unique conversation starting questions that are non-industry specific. These questions can be used in any creation such as podcast, YouTube, Facebook, IG Live, and much more. And I'm even using this here on StreamYard. So there's another feather in the cap right there. So it's very versatile. It's good stuff. Your boy Kellz, he can lay this special discount offer on you. If you go right now and go in and get your goodies, your any decks that you want, any of the 5 assorted decks that's on there for different content creation. Right now, I'm sitting here holding the What the Heck deck. Go ahead and pick something. Pick 2 things. Throw it in your cart, and then use the special VIP code that's scrolling at the bottom of this page. Or for you listeners at home, it's Marauder1. That's MARAUDER1, and that's good enough to get 10% off from your boy Kellz and the Culture Marauders. So, like I said, check out Pod Decks, order them goodies, and get them decks. So we are steady rocking and rolling. We are up to episode 23, legendary status, and we're going to call this one live and direct. So joining me today, I have 2 special guests. I have filmmakers Kim and Tamika Archie. They are the creators and founders of NuVysion Media Group, as well as the hit show on the On channel, Behind Closed Doors. Welcome, ladies. How are y'all doing?
We're doing great.
Doing well.
Great.
How about yourself?
Hey, I'm living. Like I said, any day that I'm still here rocking and doing stuff like this, I can't complain. So before we get into this, right? So I'm gonna lay one of these pod deck questions. I'm gonna lay one on both of you, right? So
man.
What the heck? All I need you to do is just answer the question. Answer honestly and freely as you feel. No big deal. I'm gonna go ahead and mix these up.
Live and direct. Let's go.
Live and direct. So here we go. All right. So I'm gonna start with you, Kim. Do you have a signature move or quirk that people notice or comment on?
I think so. I think now as I'm older, but most of the time people used to always say, every time they see me, I smile. I'm always.
Yeah. Well, that's the common thing. You're supposed to smile when you meet people.
Well, no, I'm just saying when I'm just walking every day, they say you always smiling. I don't even be talking to people. I think I look mean, but they say
you don't look mean.
I'm trying to. Like,
what's that, Tamika? What's that?
She lied.
She lying?
She's not always smiling.
So I mean, that's about the other. Do I have one, Tamika?
All right. So
I think I have one now.
So here we go. So all right, Tamika, this one's for you.
Okay.
I'm gonna take it straight from the middle. I don't even know what it is. You can see straight from the middle.
Okay.
Ooh, if you could talk to one species of animal, what would it be?
A dog.
Little style.
A dog.
A dog?
Yes.
All right. Why?
Because I want us to be able to have a conversation. We got 2 dogs right now, and we going through this battle. So I really want to know what they're thinking when I say certain things to them. So I want to be able to have some dialogue where we can actually have a full human conversation.
Like what do you think the conversation is going to entail? Like what do you? How deep in a conversation y'all going to get? Well, you know what? You'd be surprised.
The dogs are cussing me out, really. But I'm not quite sure. But based on their actions and the way that they turn their head when I'm holding the conversation, it's almost like they calling me the B word. You know what I'm saying? but I'm not quite sure. So I want to have that dialect to determine how we can, dwell together.
All right. Makes sense. Okay. All right. Well, I don't know if I speak to mama. That's actually not a bad answer. I was, because you're right. They cock that head to the side, like, what the hell are you talking about? That type of.
Yep, exactly.
Or when I say no, one of them kind of give me that. And I'm like, wait a second. What's going on? What's the conversation? What is it that you're really trying to say?
Well, there it is. So there it is. Y'all are witnesses to the power of the pod decks, the what the heck decks. So there it is right there. So let's get into it, right? So I'm gonna talk about behind closed doors later on, but right now I want to get to know y'all a little bit more. And so let's start on your backstory, right? So your backstory, y'all have obviously been doing this for longer than a little bit, right? So let's start with you, Kim. Tell me your backstory, where you're from, all that stuff, so the listeners can get to know you a little bit better.
Okay, I was born a poor black child. I've always wanted to do that. Shrek is one of my favorite movies, right? So, I'm originally from Wichita Falls.
Okay.
I moved to Dallas, well, technically Fort Worth, to go to school, and actually I got my degree in graphic design.
Okay.
And then I started, doing little stuff here and there, doing business cards, flyers, posters, stuff like that. And then that led me to go into photography. So I got into photography. And what was the next step after that was going into filmmaking. And I met Tamika, and I tell her my dreams and ambitions and everything, and she makes them come true.
All right. So there it is. And that's the job of the producer, right? So in a sense, so okay. All right. So Tamika, how about you? Where are you from? And let's hear some backstory on you.
Well, here, Dallas, Texas, born and raised. Well, I won't say born, but raised. Let's see. I have no background when it comes to filming or any of that. I've done some plays like from school, and I've written a couple of plays like in school when I was younger. But I did a lot of event planning. That was my thing. Event planning, coordinating, whatever it was. I could put together carnivals. I've done a carnival for church events. I've put together plays and skits at church. Back to school bashes, baby showers, weddings, bar mitzvahs. No. You done bar mitzvahs? I've done every event planning possible. I've even to the point where at work, I was the liaison at work for handling all of the events and any type of morale committee events and stuff. So it just kind of bled over, and being with Stormy, and I've always been the type of person to kind of back my mate on what it is they wanted to do. And so whatever idea she has, if it sounds good, I don't even ask her, hey, are you ready to do this? I just hit the ground running. And then, you know what?
But that's a good partner, though. That's a good partner.
And I'm like, what, you ready? You said that you wanted to do it.
I was just talking.
You just brainstormed and she taking off with it already.
Right. And you heard her call me Stormy, right?
There it is. Yep. I was going to get to that.
Stormy is actually my radio name. So I had a podcast radio show, and it was called The Roundtable Discussion. And Stormy Nights, I actually started with another young lady. Her name was Sunny Days. So it was Sunny Days and Stormy Nights.
That sounds like an 80s hip hop crew.
And it's funny because people are like, well, what's your government name? Well, both of them technically my mama gave me, so they actually could be, both my government names. But yeah, so that's where Stormy comes from.
All right. Hey, fellow Marauders, we're here rocking with Kim, aka Stormy, and Tamika Archie. They said they're just giving us a little bit of background on, where they came from and how they met and all that stuff and all the goodness before we really, really get into it. So, all right. So I'm going to shift it over next. Tell me about NuVysion Media Group.
Oh, well, NuVysion Media Group. Well, basically, we created it when we knew that we were going to do the film. We had to come up with a company name, right?
Can I stop right there? We didn't create NuVysion. Tamika.
Okay,
okay, all right.
So I had to come up with a company name, right? So we already do photography. So Stormy is a photographer, and I helped her on a lot of shoots. Then she already was doing business cards and flyers. So I knew that we were gonna need something to tie us into the entertainment media portion. So we kept trying to come up with a name. Well, I used to be a PR over an artist, and I had an actual name. Well, I couldn't use that name anymore. And so we had to try to come up with something. And so I was throwing out a bunch of different names. And so I came up with NuVysion. And Stormy was the one that said, let's make it NuVysion with the Y because it's 2 females.
Ah.
And then you have to realize too, it's a new vision, because my motto is I want people to be entertained, but I want them to be educated as well. So that's I have this whole thing is edutainment, right?
Edutainment.
So what'd you say?
I don't know. I was just saying edutainment. That's good.
Yeah. So it's a new vision. A lot of people like to entertain you and give you a lot of fluff.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I want you to still be entertained, but you learn something at the end of the day. You can leave one of our shows and be like, you know what, I just learned something. It's almost like Schoolhouse Rock.
Right.
I grew up in, so,
without I'm just a bill sitting on Capitol Hill.
Right. She is telling her age.
But you know what? You hit it 100% on the head, because with each episode, you do walk away. It's like, yes, you're entertained and the stuff that goes on around it, but you're really hitting on real life topics and situations. So you are learning something, whether you realize it or not. I caught it, and I'm sure a lot of your viewers did, which is why you had so many views from the jump. So everybody is knowing, what's going on with that show. Very cool. Very cool. So you said you started this, it was a concept, but what year did you guys get started?
Last year.
Oh, really? I mean, that's outstanding. Like, I mean, by the way, all this is set up, and it looks like y'all been doing this for at least five. So
no, so actually last year was our full first year putting this actual project out. As far as the photography and stuff is, Stormy had been doing that for years, right?
Wait a minute, it hadn't been a full year yet. It won't be a full year.
Well, it's a full year that NuVysion has been incorporated.
Because I thought we saw that in October.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're right. So it'll be just one full year.
October?
But the series in itself, we didn't actually start writing that until like May.
Wow.
So it'll be
like this year, like early May?
Last year.
I was like, man, I've only been doing this since September. Y'all are running laps around me. I'm embarrassed.
Like last year, May was the first time that we actually did the series. So we wrote it out in like a month's time, and we filmed it in 2 months.
Yep.
Oh man, I mean, hey, top notch. Hats off to you.
Driver over here.
Yeah.
So she did and we don't even know the deadline. We're like, we had a deadline for this. This was supposed to be done such and such. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know the deadline. Give me a calendar. Those are some of the things we run into. You see, because she has a deadline in her head. I have a deadline in mine. We had to come together with the same deadline to be
right.
on the page.
I got to come to that agreement on timeline, schedules, all that stuff. So
we do better this year, though.
Good. So I went on, and checked out, the page and everything, and it seems like y'all have a tight knit group, right? Your NuVysion Media group family, and you got a couple of people that I've seen that are actually on the show. So is that the intent behind this company, is to have like a sense of family, and keep those close to you, just having a good working relationship and cranking out a good product?
Yes. My thing is, if you have people that you are close with, that you can have that family type vibe with, it makes the company run a little bit more smoother. So if you have that moment where, like I do sometimes, where I just go, forget it, just forget it. They're able to not take it personal,
right? And
then they can say, okay, calm down, girl. Now let's talk about this. Let her breathe for a minute. She'll be all right. But versus if you have some people that you just come on, they don't know that, and then they take offense.
Right, and it's good because they know if you're having a moment, they're not going more than likely not going to take offense to it. And just and I definitely get that. That makes the working environment a lot easier, I imagine, as well, right?
Yeah.
Correct. But see, also in that same token, it's also giving them experience in doing, learning different things as well. Because we have a lot of new actors and actresses. We have people who never filmed before, and we were one of them. This is our first time filming, and we actually picked the biggest project ever to do.
Big. You got to go big, right?
But hey, go big or go home, right?
Right.
So that's the thing. Everybody get to learn something. And that's one thing we always, me and Tamika talked about, and we want people to, be a part and feel they are part of this as well as, it's not just ours, it's everybody who is involved. Even the people that interview us, hey, y'all have a part in this as well, because y'all push it for people to go see it. So
hey, don't forget the little people, all right? You remember Don't be surprised you see me show, hey, y'all, what's up? It's your boy Kellz. Don't forget.
I'm like, hey, what's up? I remember him. Come on in.
I'm saying, who knows? You might write your part in there.
Okay.
Hey, you know what? I'll take it. I'm gonna take you up on that. I will ham it up so good you won't be able to get rid of me. So, but so look, so you got that group of family, the sense of family going on. Now, do you take like an extra step to actually teach them and groom them to eventually, pursue their own dreams and their own, direction, even if it's not with NuVysion?
Yeah, that's our main goal with NuVysion Media, is that we want to use it as a platform for others to be able to branch out outside of NuVysion Media. We don't, of course, we would like to contain them and be all hours behind closed doors, but we want them to gain exposure. So that's why we tell our cast members, to get experience. We want to get them experience with being able to interview and things of that nature, because we want them to be able to get in front of whether it's an interview, a podcast, TV, whatever, and be able to sell themselves on something else other than behind closed doors.
There you go.
We actually have a cast member that's, he's right now in a couple of other projects, which is great. Then we have another cast member. She's a model now, So we want them to be able, if they want to do something other than what they're doing right now, we want to push them to do something better.
That's good. That's really good. Because like you said, you get some people who just kind of want to hold it in, but y'all are grooming and mentoring and nurturing, and growing these folks to go out and, succeed on their own. So that's definitely positive, especially in our community, in the African-American community. So that's definitely positive. So let's talk about influences, right? Let's talk about influences. So Kim, I'm gonna start with you. All right, you're the head honcho, head of the snake, right? Well, we'll say dual, but just for the sake of the show, we're gonna call you the head of the snake for this.
She already know we good. Come on.
I don't want to cause any problems. So
we'll talk about that off air.
So your influences, right? So director, you said you started out, photography, and you had a podcast and stuff like that. Going into this, this whole new adventure, this whole new realm of filmmaking, who are your influences doing this?
I would have to say, and it's gonna sound so cliche, it'll be Tyler Perry was one, but I think my was gonna be Ron Howard.
Oh, okay. Well, now see, that's not cliche. I like Ron Howard movies, so.
Yeah. But the thing about it is, I watched him on Masterclass, and that's to let everybody know I am a YouTube graduate of filmmaking.
Okay.
That's what I do. That's what I do. I watch YouTube videos and learn. And when I listen to his, he says, "Can anybody write a movie? Can anybody direct a movie?" He said, "Yes." He said, "But now is it going to be good?" He said, "No." And then he goes down and breaks it down of everything you really need to do to be successful, right? And I listened to it at first, but until I did it, I didn't realize how hard it was to direct, how hard it is to write. The really and truly writing is the easiest.
Really?
Because you write down anything, because you can write down whatever's in your mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
You write it down, you put it, and once you get a flow, you're good. But to convey that to a viewer, that's the hardest part you ever have, because you need to convey the story that you want the viewer to see.
So Tamika, with that saying, with the script and everything, is that where you come in as the producer? Do you go over the script, or do y'all work, in union as far as revising and making edits and cuts and stuff?
We work together when it comes to the writing. So basically, we both kind of know each other's strengths when it comes to certain characters and certain parts. So she'll say, "Okay, you write for this character, that character," and then she'll do the same. And so we kind of, what we do is break off the episodes. So I for season 2, I wrote the first 4 episodes, and then she's written the last 4. But then we kind of came together with the finale. And then season 1, it was kind of the same. We just kind of both just kind of tag team on different episodes. And then she did most of the editing, and I did like maybe 2 episodes, a couple of episodes of the editing.
Okay.
So so it was just kind of one of those things where we just know each other's strengths and we just kind of play off of each other's strengths and weaknesses.
That's cool. That's a strong team right there. Because if one's, you can tell, right? So if somebody's not feeling it, usually you can probably tell, either pick up the slack or whatever. But that's good that y'all can play off each other like that and know how to make that work. So I'm gonna swing it back to you again, Kim.
Okay.
So challenges that you faced thus far, in your filmmaking career, your early filmmaking career. Give me some of those challenges.
Yeah, some of them challenges, huh?
That's the third time you pointed to her.
But the first 2 were really good. They were positive. But no, Tamika was a challenge. She really was, because, Tamika wants things the way she wants them when she wants them. And so we go back and forth because of that. But at the end, she comes to an end and sees that I'm right. And we all do.
All is well, right? All is well from then on.
Hey, long as you can rant all day, but as long as I'm good, we do. The other challenges was finding locations. I think the biggest one was sound, because as a new filmmaker, we had mics and everything, but we like, we don't need them until part of it. And you have one sound that blends in with the characters' voices, and you can't get that sound out. So now it makes the voices sound real muffled, and you just can't understand it. So that was a huge challenge. But and I'll go ahead and say it, because in the first episode was shot at the coffee shop. That's where the challenge was. You may hear some of the differences in the sound, right?
You're right, because some sounded almost a little muffled, and then other parts, like, you can hear. I mean, it's clear, but when they're outside, or you guys are outside, and you can hear the cars passing and stuff. But that's part of learning, right? That's part of learning the game, and you'll figure it out, I'm sure.
But
that episode, the first episode, was the hardest episode.
I think
it was my last one I finished.
I think she edited that sucker about 11 times and playing the sound. It was to the point where I just got frustrated, right? And I was just like, scrap it, forget it, just scrap it.
But that's your baby, though, right? That's your baby, and that's a reflection of you, and that's understandable that you want to put out the best product possible. So
it was just very frustrating because of the sound. But I think what happened was when Stormy came in, she went to a friend's house or whatever, to get away from me, really, to clear her head. And then she came back, and then she goes, I have this idea. And I'm like, what's that? She goes, okay, I need you to do a voiceover for all of these scenes. And I'm like, a voiceover?
That's smart. I
had to literally write out a voiceover, and so all those parts you hear me talking, I wrote all that out in like an hour and a half, whatever. And then I just did the voiceover, and she plugged them in.
You know what? I would have never put those two together, because it sounded like it was just put in there, at the right time, and it was just part of the show. So hey, you had me fooled. Sound good.
And also the beginning part where it stops and it actually has the name and everything of each character and what they do.
Right.
That was to cover the sound as well, because you hear the music more than you hear them, so they cover sound as well.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I mean, it's just one of those things you're gonna y'all gonna knock it out. I mean, it'll get easier as you go. Like, you can even tell by the end of the 6th episode, the season finale, like, y'all had kind of dialed it in, and you were starting to find your groove. So I mean. Growing pains, it'll come around. So I think I'm excited to see what season 2 is gonna look like myself. So
Thank you.
I'm excited too. Because I just finished writing episode 5. Oh my God!
Are y'all doing another 6 for this next one?
We're doing 8.
Oh, all right. All right. But see, look, I'm not trying to get to behind closed doors yet. Don't worry. I'm going to get to it. I promise I'm going to get to it. So, Tamika, I'm going to ask you, so, do you share the same challenges, or do you have your own set of challenges as far as, like, the partnership and everything, and just everything going on with it?
So my challenges were scheduling time, right? So, sometimes Stormy don't remember some of the the scheduled dates. Like the cast members would be on board, but it was more of the time. And then I'm one of those type of people, like when we get to locations, I don't want to drag out the owner's time in their location, because all those locations were actual businesses.
Right.
And we didn't stop them from actually doing their business. So we had to kind of like jump in the middle of them still handling their regular customers. And so I didn't want to take up all their time. So if I told everybody, hey, let's be here at 1:00, I'm expecting that, hey, if I told that owner, we only going to need 2, maybe 3 hours tops of your time, I don't expect to be there 4 or 5 hours.
Right.
We need to get in there and do what we got to do. So that means, hey, you need to try to get the best shot you can, that extra conversation. We don't need it. Let's just get in there. So I'm more of that person, the organizer. And I think the other part was, trying to I think it was like pulling people to the best out of them, because we give them scripts to, we give them scripts. Everybody have a script about that thing, right? But we tell them, don't read it verbatim. We want you to put your own into it, right?
You give a little bit of like improvisation.
Yeah. So the script is just for a guideline, right? So you can tell who actually thoroughly read their script and who didn't, right? And so now you're going, dude, that is not what we said.
I just got mine on my hand. I'm gonna go off the clock.
Like, come on, man, so that was kind of one of the challenges, is trying to pull the best out of everybody.
Okay.
I think that's the biggest challenge. And that's what we're hoping that this season, now that everybody has seen the first season, I think now they're going to be like, oh, heck no. And they're going to try to come and give it, they're going to bring their serious A game season 2, because they've seen season 1 now.
Good. So, and I wanted to tie it back. So, you said you were brand new to this whole world, right? So what are some of your influences now that, you got almost a full year into the game? What are some of your influences as far as doing this?
Well, I mean, for me, my influence has always been Robert Townsend. Okay. I used to always say, if I could get him to just watch it, that's it. I just want you to watch it and just give me a 2-liner feedback. That's it. I don't care about nothing else, because I've watched all of his films, the directing, the stories he put behind it, the quirkiness he puts into his films. When he had Parenthood. Yeah. He wrote, and the education he put into that, I just always been a big fan of Robert Townsend. And
even Meteor Man?
Huh?
Even Meteor Man?
Yeah. With the blonde hair.
The Golden Lords, the Baby Lords.
Yeah. Oh my God. So I've always been a huge fan of Robert.
You're right.
A lot of other stuff too.
Man, you know what? I'm gonna tell you, the crazy thing is, when I think about Robert Townsend, the first thing I did think about was Meteor Man, but the next one I thought about was the 5 Heartbeats.
The first thing I thought about.
I think the Hollywood Shuffle. I think a Hollywood Shuffle myself. That's my
Hollywood Shuffle. Yeah.
I think so many of them, and it's just, I don't know. It's just one of those things where I've even sent him emails. I've Instagrammed him.
Really?
Whatever. I just want him to watch it. That's it. You don't have to do anything else. You don't have to give me no review. You don't have to tell other people how good it is or how bad it is. I don't care. I just want to know that you've watched it.
You know what? And I think that means I know it means a lot, but I think that's something, that we could do a lot better of, as a people, supporting our own. You say, hey, go out, see these movies by these Black directors, these Black filmmakers. But the Black filmmakers don't take care of the ones coming back up. You have a few, don't get me wrong. But to be honest with you, what is Robert Townsend doing right now where he can't take a couple minutes to watch a couple of your episodes and give a just starting filmmaker some feedback, some constructive criticism, or at least some pointers, So Robert Townsend, if you're listening, you need to get on that, man. You need to get on that and take care of it.
He actually has, like, I think, was it a series or a new film that was out? A new film that was, I can't think of the name of it, but he was playing he was a head basketball coach.
Okay.
In this film, he was a head basketball coach. And so, and he was dating, well, he was it was funny. He was dating this woman who she had this top son. Like everybody wanted this guy on their team, but Robert Townsend was able to snag him and get him on his team or whatever. So it was all about placing trust in one another, and actually making this player like a spectacular player or whatever. But yeah, I just watched that like last week. I mean flipping, watching, waiting for Robert Townsend stuff. I mean, I just like Robert Townsend. So there you go.
So you are a legit diehard Robert Townsend like film fan.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, that's cool. That's cool because he and all the great directors out there, not regardless of color or whatever, he kind of gets forgotten about. Because he started out pretty heavy in the 80s, late 80s, and early 90s. But it was like little small things he was doing from there, and he kind of got pushed back in the shuffle. Unless you really, really follow him like that. So,
right. Correct.
Yeah, I'd like to see him come back. I didn't even know he had a new film out. So, hey, news after news, right?
Yeah, I think it's on Netflix.
Okay, all right. So, all right, shifting. Give me some of the juice. Give me some of the tales from the set.
Sound like some music.
Tales from the set. Let's see. So as you know that I'm married in the series, right?
Yep. Wait. Hold on. Poor Sean. Like, I just want to put that out there. Poor Sean.
Let's talk about Sean right now for a minute. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but let's talk about Sean.
Okay.
Henry Moore plays Sean, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he took the character to a different level where I really didn't want that character to be. I wanted people to feel sorry for him, but I didn't want him to be as passive as he played.
No.
Funny when I was talking to him about it, and he was like, "Well, I can't. I feel like I'm just being this passive, I was like, "Come on, dude. I need you understand and you empathize, and you ain't being like, okay, yeah, just a pushover."
Right.
But funny story. It actually worked. It actually did work. So
yeah, I mean, it was totally believable, man. And I was like, Tamika, I was looking at you. I was like, man, what the hell's her problem? Like, what's wrong with you? but it was convincing, man. It had me convinced, and I was like, man, but that's not too far from something that you would see in real life. So, like I said, it was believable, and so. But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. So go ahead, back to the juice.
So it was crazy because Stormy and I, well, Kim, we're married, right?
Right.
And so it would be a lot of parts where in the series you would see Sean where he's hugging on me, or we have that one scene where it looks like we're like about to, and I was like so uncomfortable, and he wasn't making it any better, like at all. And then and you can't see it, but he actually hit me on my butt, right? And I'm like, I was just like, dude. And then it's like a part where he's chasing me. It's a flashback where he's chasing me
in the kitchen, right?
Oh yeah, I was just like, I cut it off. I was like, hey, you caught me. I was just like, dude, I did not want him grabbing me. I was just like, dude. And so Stormy kept saying, you are not making this believable. You got it. I was just like, oh my God. I was like, okay, let me shake it out. Come on. I was like, okay, let's do this again. And I'm like, you'll see me like, it was so funny because I would take off in the other direction before he even get a hold to me. And so he's like, where are you going? And I was just like, man, okay. And I'm just like, and I told her it probably would have went better if she wasn't there filming and somebody else was filming.
Right. Because
my spouse is right there watching me. It's like,
I need to be there.
Right.
It wasn't because of her. No.
But yeah, so it was moments like that, that was weird, real weird.
Well, no, go ahead.
No, and then it was I want to say it was other moments with the other cast members that weird stuff was going on. You have to push them into doing stuff. You're like, dude, you look like that when you about to almost kiss somebody. Come on now,
So it's you have a fairly equal share of characters on here, representing male and female. You got a lot of diva mentality on there, and I'm not looking at you, Tamika. I'm not looking at you. But have y'all had that situation, like the diva mentality, or the the star treatment, or even some fights? I mean, you're working together pretty closely. Everything ain't roses, right? So there's got to be some conflict there at some point.
We had two cast members that like wasn't getting along.
Yeah, we had one diva on the on the set, and that's Zoe.
Man.
Zoe is the diva, right? And sometimes she takes her character offset. Sometimes
bring your work home with you.
Right. She mentioned that, you know, she likes scheduling and all that stuff. Zoe came out one time and was like, "Look, we gotta get this done. I don't care what y'all do." And we got it. I got it on tape. And we looking at everybody looking at her like this. You know, because Zoe has come out and then she just walks out like, "I done said what I got to say, and it's done."
That's
right?
it. Just get it out.
Everybody do this. We like, "Oh, she ain't talking to us," and we just go back doing what we doing. Right? So, because she was actually talking to Sean about it, and it was so, and it's caught on tape and everything.
You hold on to that. Hold on to that.
And then James, which is my assistant in this series.
Oh, that poor dude.
Yeah, so, you know, he called me a B like a couple of times in the series. I work with him.
Uh-huh.
And so I was like, so James, I have a bone to pick with you. First off, I didn't even know that. I didn't see it until Stormy completed it. I didn't know that he spit in my coffee, right?
Oh,
that was not written,
all by myself.
That was not written in. Stormy told him to improvise and do what he felt. So he felt like spitting in my coffee. So I said, James, that's how you really feel, really? And then I told him, I was like, so you call me a B so freely in the series. So how many times you been wanting to call me that in real life? He's like, oh, not that many times. Oh, not that many times?
At least he was honest. He shot you straight. At least he was honest.
So, tell me how you really feel.
I do want to say this because this one, it was couple for me on the set. The coffee scene that you see in the film is not the original coffee scene that we shot.
Oh, yeah?
We had to go find a new coffee place because the first one we did, all of the footage was blurry. Sound was great though, but the footage was blurry. We couldn't even use none of it. So we had to do that. And then the scene with JoJo and Jasmine in the park, eating a sandwich. I was, you know, it was really good, right? Good. Here I go. I tumble over, just fall. Woo. Yeah.
So she edited where you couldn't see her. You didn't catch the part of her mouth, but she was like,
I'm falling on this. I'm like, oh, my knees. Oh, my knees.
Yo, JoJo packed that sandwich up so quick.
That wasn't in the script.
That was not in the script.
That was not in the script.
Man, that probably was my favorite part. Like, Jasmine, like, no,
yes. We let them do their thing, and that wasn't part of the script at all.
And like Jasmine dropping the burnt toast.
That wasn't in the script. I actually, that was part of the set. And I was like doing something, and I went, oh crap, I forgot the toast in the oven and was burnt. And I was like, oh my God. I said, I'm gonna throw it away. And so JoJo was like, no, we can use that. And then Storm was like, yeah, we can put that in. So,
you gotta save those resources now. Yeah.
So they use that whole part. That was not part of it.
So we changed up everything. So that's why you got the paper plates and all that stuff. Because I was like, you might as well. She's trying to impress you, but she done burnt the toast, you know. Kind of ran and dropped it. That was hilarious. I was like,
she dropped it for real.
Trying to get out the stuff. Yeah, that was funny.
So see, I'm sitting there digging for dirt, but it sounds like y'all just have a good time on the show.
And we don't have any dirt.
Yeah, I mean, because we were all friends. Like, like the two people who were not like really getting along or whatever. It was like not nothing. It was like they friends outside. So it was kind of like with the petty stuff, right? And then it's time to work, and then it's like, okay, can y'all get past y'all petty moment for a moment, you know? So yeah. Other than that, we're like friends.
Yeah,
so
cool. And we go talk stuff out so good. And I think a lot of people are scared of Tamika. So I ain't gonna
lie. When I saw the Zoe character, I was like, man, I hope she's not like that for real.
I'm not.
And you said that. You told me. You came out and told me, say, hey, that's not me for real. I was like, okay, all right. I said, I don't know what you assume.
Sir, excuse me, sir. I wrote Zoe. I didn't know who Zoe is. I told her when I got Zoe, I knew who Zoe was gonna be.
Right. Hey,
but it is in there.
The character is good. I like it. I like I like the show, but there's certain characters that just stand out so much, and you know, like I said, I like the interaction between you and Sean, and it's just like, man, I feel for this dude so bad. Just run away from home, man. Just run away from home. So let me move on to the next question because we can rock with this for a minute.
Right.
So, and this is a question for both of you, right? What films have inspired you the most?
Well, I told you I'm a Robert Townsend fan, right?
Right.
But I like him as a person and everything he does. But film-wise, if I tell you, it has nothing to do with Behind Closed Doors, right? So I love Dirty Dancing, right? I can watch that over and over like that. Don't look like that. I have the director's edition and everything, right? But I'm also a huge Harry Potter fan, right? Don't judge me. I have a she cave in there, and I have Harry Potter stuff. I even have my Harry Potter wand. I have my Harry Potter cups and glasses, and I have my Harry Potter pajamas.
So have you been to Hogwarts or Harry Potter Land in down here in Florida?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And I like it.
She took me for my birthday. Was it last year? Year before last.
How was the butter beer?
Huh?
How was the butter beer?
Man, it was excellent. I had like three of them.
You know, I just heard about it. I don't know, too much.
It's good. I got the magic wands where you can do your own little tricks on the thing.
Uh-huh.
I'm a huge Harry Potter. I've read the books, all the movies. We have a movie theater room downstairs. I have my Harry Potter posters. So
okay. All right. So what about you, Stormy?
I take away from all films because once I started getting into filmmaking, I watch movies totally different than other people. It's no longer entertaining to me. I watch it to look for transitions, how they introduce a character, how they film. I watch all of that. But some of my favorite movies is like Gone in 60 Seconds. I like more action movies, Fast and the Furious. Also like Deliver Us from Evil, and I can't laugh at her too much because I have a cartoon fetish. I'm Spider-Man.
My son loves Spider-Man. He loves Miles Morales. Actually, he loves all characters, but Spider-Man is his favorite. Miles Morales in particular. So
she loves it so much that our wedding reception was Spider-Man. Our wedding cake was half Spider-Man.
Well, fellow Marauders, we're going to wrap the show up right there, guys. Thanks for
So my room is Spider-Man.
And her room is Spider-Man.
Yeah, you know what? That's cool. Because I saw the house, like, I can't. It looks like because you're kind of like off in this, but I was like, is that Spider-Man? But I was like, all right, hey.
Why? Actually, I got this one from Universal Studios.
So let me ask you, who's the best Spider-Man?
I can't remember the dude's name. He's the one that played. It's not the new one. It's the older one.
The first guy, Tobey Maguire.
Tobey Maguire.
Toby.
He's okay, but when they did that third one, but the third one stunk like all the way. That movie stunk.
The third one was nice.
And it was just he was like snapping and doo-wopping and all kinds of. It was a little over the top.
It was a little corny.
Yeah.
What's the guy that's the new one though? And does the Amazing Spider-Man, the one that's actually like in Avengers and stuff like that.
Well, Tom Holland.
I like that one.
Yeah, I like him.
I like the new.
I like him, but I like Toby better. I believe that's just my thing, and it's probably because that's the first one I saw.
Yeah. Usually people have that tie to like the original, but the way they've taken these Marvel movies and just ran with them, you could be a nobody one day, and you get on one of those movies, and you're a star from there on. So,
right. Yeah.
I mean, so
I love Avengers. I love the way they put it together. I love the way Marvel, before they went to Disney, put their movies together.
Yeah.
I loved it. So I can't leave them out at all.
I need y'all to start working on a script for like a Miles Morales Spider-Man movie. Just to make my son happy so he can see him in real life. That's it. That's all we need. So.
Okay.
So my next question.
Because that's what I do. Because I watch Black Lightning. I love that. I like Cage. So.
Okay, I'm gonna hold you to it. I'm gonna be looking for it. I'm gonna start spreading the rumor right now. You wish it into existence. So my next question: what film would you remake, and who would you cast?
Ooh, That's a good one.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I told you I had some good stuff for you.
What movie would I remake?
Dirty Dancing.
I wouldn't remake that. Some movies you just don't need.
You're right. You're 100% right.
Right, but
okay, I got one. Y'all probably have never seen it. It's an old movie. It's called 3000 Maniacs.
No.
Okay. The movie was horrible. It was horrible. I mean, it was so horrible that you could see, like, when the stunt double changes, you saw it change. Or if they try to cut somebody's arm, you can see the arm moving. They put a fake one there. Is
it like an Ed Wood movie? Because he made some really bad movies, and he was known for making bad movies.
You know, I don't know who it was, but I look it up, and I tried to find it when I was trying to show somebody else, but I can't find it. I put it in, they come in, but it's a remake already of it, right?
Okay.
I would remake that, and I would cast Jack Nicholson in it because I think he would do a good job as a villain in that movie.
Okay. All right. What about you, Tamika?
A Man with Two Brains.
Oh, the Steve Martin classic.
Yeah, but I would cast like Marlon Wayans.
Okay, all right. You know, I haven't seen Marlon in anything in a minute, but you know that's good. That's a good point and a good movie. So all right,
yeah, because you know you need a comedian in that spot and someone that could actually be goofy
and do physical comedy, a little bit of physical comedy.
Like Kevin Hart wouldn't be able to pull it off, right? So you would need someone that's actually goofy and lanky, like Steve Martin was. And
that'd be a good one.
That's a good.
What about Miss Doubtfire?
But that's one of those ones you don't touch, though. Mrs. Doubtfire. Yeah.
Miss Doubtfire, no, because I mean, if you think about it, they almost
you can't touch it now.
They kind of almost already did that, really, when they did Big Mama's House. So they kind of already did that. So you kind of gotta grab something that you just ain't nobody tried to remake yet.
Yeah. I would do Dr. Detroit with Dan Aykroyd.
Oh yeah. Who would you put in there though?
Yeah. Who would you put in? Who would you?
That's tough. I would say Dan Aykroyd. Man, I hadn't gotten that far, but I would like
to touch that one. I don't know. Now, what you could do is Cheech and Chong, and I would put Kevin Hart and Cat Williams.
Oh, Kevin Hart as
Chong.
Yeah, that's not bad either. Or I would do Kevin. I would do Cat Williams and Mike Epps. That's what I would do. I would do it like that.
With Cheech and Chong?
Yeah.
I can see that better.
Like another Friday reunion,
or better yet, maybe like D. Ray.
Oh yeah, D. Ray. D. Ray Cat Williams.
Yeah.
That's not bad either. See, look. You know, I mean, we miss. I know I missed my calling. Look, I'm sitting there. So, next question: what's your dream project?
I want, which I started doing, but I had not completed, is a scary movie.
Okay, a scary movie like So, are you a fan of the Jordan Peele movies?
No, not. I mean, yeah. The thing is, I'm gonna tell you why scary movies for me. I'm scary, and I don't like scary movies. And so it was once I was reading this article where this director says that the best person to write a scary movie is one who is scary. So if you're not scared of anything, then it's going to be a little hard for you to write it. Yeah. And so I had not completed out writing the one that I have, because every time I started writing something, I started looking around and stuff, right? And then I started writing a little bit more. I look around, I'm like, okay, I'm going to come back to this later. You know,
she wanted to help me write that one. She just wanted to direct it. That's what this.
Yeah. So the scare. That's what I've always wanted to do, a scary movie. So,
okay.
Great job.
Okay. So my son is sitting here showing me what you just said. So I'm literally watching what we just said, and he's showing it to me live. So it's crazy. But anyway, I'm sorry. Hey, what up, Kyle? One of the original Marauders, my boy Kyle Dawkins. I see you, bro. I see you. Hey, appreciate you tuning in. So, all right. So,
yeah, well, I guess what would be my dream project? I have a lot of dreams. So,
well, you know, you started as a poor black child, according to
I dreamed a lot. So I know one of them that I do want to do. I want to do a short film.
Okay.
but I want to challenge myself and shoot it only on my cell phone.
Ooh, okay, kind of like a Cloverfield type thing. You remember that when they did the horror? It was it was actually a horror, and they filmed it with the phone. So okay.
Oh, yep.
All right.
I want to do that. I do want to put on a play. I want to have a play production. I want to do, and I do want to have one hit single.
All right. What now? Do you sing?
In the shower. It's gonna be called Shower Tales.
So look, have you ever thought of doing like maybe like an anthology movie, kind of like where you can take those short stories and do your horror and just do like a short anthology on it? Kind of scratch that itch. So that's going to be 25,000 once it hits.
we didn't write it down, so we didn't write it down.
So when it happens, then you're like, that was my idea. Like,
that's what she want to write a horror movie, but I want to write this short film, and it's actually going to be about Black men and mental health.
You know what?
That's what I'm trying to. That's what's working in my head right now.
That would be a really dope. I mean, it's a dope concept because, you know, I mean, I used to read the Michael Basin books, Men Cry in the Dark and stuff like that. And you know what? We haven't really seen that story yet. So I think that'd be dope. I think that'd be definitely something to put out there.
Most definitely.
All right. Now we're going to get to it. We done talked about it already for most of the show. Right. So we're going to get into behind closed doors. You guys you just wrapped up the first season on the On channel you know, first of all, how was that experience? Like how did you guys wind up on the On channel? Like how did that come about?
So Stormy wanted to go on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
YouTube graduate,
but
alma mater, you got to bring it back home.
Yeah, but a couple of people actually heard of the story. You know, we talked about it, and they loved the concept, and they was like, "Man, that's too good to put on YouTube. You should shop it around." I'm like, "Shopping around to what? To whom? To where?" No. And so someone brought up the On channel, and I was like, "I don't even know how to get in contact with them." So I just went on Facebook. I went on the internet, just started, and came up with the email. Sent them the email, told him the concept of the story, and he reached back to me instantly. And,
wow.
Yeah, and he called me, and he said he loves the story. He loves what we're trying to do with it, and he could not wait to see the pilot to pretty much determine if, you know, he'll put it on the network. Mm-hmm. Well, we sent him a pilot that wasn't even completed because this is the first season. That was the first episode, right? That we had to edit like 15 times. So we sent him that one.
He had the raw dog.
Yeah, and he still liked it. And the next thing you know, he says, "Okay, you know, when will you have the rest of them?" And I was like, "Wait, did that just happen?" You know,
I got signed just like that.
Like that. So that's how we pretty much got on to the On channel.
Okay, cool. And obviously, I mean, your numbers, I looked at, was it 14,000 views in the first 2 weeks?
Yes.
Man, that's incredible. So, hey, hats off to you. That's incredible. And it's only going to go up from there. So, I mean, y'all set the bar kind of high. So, y'all better.
Yes, I know. Yeah. It's like, geez.
Y'all going to be victims of your own success. I'm sorry?
I said the only thing we can do now after the series is make the Behind Closed Doors movie.
There you go. So, I mean, it's already there. It's writing itself. So, yeah, have at it. So why should the viewers care about this story?
Well, this story covers a lot of aspects, and a lot of people won't realize it until you really just pay attention to it. It covers childhood trauma. And so the story tells of the 5 characters who've gone through childhood traumatic experiences and how those experiences molded them as adults. And so it's a lot of things and stories that people don't like to really talk about. Some people do, especially not in, you know, the Black community, definitely, right. You know. And so, and a lot of times people think those traumatic experiences only happen in a, you know, low income family, you know, if they homeless or something, you know, a single parent home, you know, a lot of people think that those things only happen to that, and that it don't happen to families that are actually together, and those who are, you see successful people in the world, and you don't think that they've ever gone through anything as a child. So that's what this actually covers.
You know, and when I'm sorry, Kim, go ahead.
Oh, I say, and also, you know, what viewers should get out of it too, because like some people haven't went through this, like me. Some of the stuff I haven't went through, right? We need to start being more understanding of why people do the things that they do, and that's one of the reasons why I started writing it, because I wanted people to understand, hey, just because Zoe's mean, what's behind that meanness?
Exactly.
For a reason, you know, and you know, once we get, it's called in the council where it's called peeling the onion. So once you get to that bottom layer, you can find out, okay, this is the root cause of why you are upset. Then let's deal with that. You know, and in Zoe's case, is, you know, she has a lot of anger built up from her childhood, right?
Exactly. Yep.
And so that's why, you know, that's all she knows. And sometimes that's all you do know. You don't know anything better. And if we don't take the time to, you know, get people to know themselves, then our community is going to be, you know, down the drain. So that's what I'm trying to get out of that. And
that ties back to your statement about edutainment, right? So it's entertaining. Yeah, you're going to have a laugh, or, you know, like me, I was like, damn, with Sean, but you take a step back, it's deeper than that. It's a lot deeper than that. And, you know, and it just so happens we're in National Mental Health Awareness Month, you know, and some of the topics that you touch on this show, and it pops up as, you know, the opening credits and stuff. You talk about innocence, you know, so prostitution, domestic violence, suicide, molestation, and sadness. You know, all these things contribute to the detriment of one's mental health, you know, and, you know, I appreciate that the fact that y'all touch on this in a relatable way, not something that's just over the viewer's head, but I think in a relatable way. Yeah. So my question to you now, so how many of these characters, and you said a couple, so how many of these characters have you actually had, you've actually had a personal touch in actually developing these characters, as far as, like, you know, and I'm not going to ask you for your personal business, but, you know, your personal stories, you know, your characters are built from those.
So, except one, all the characters are built off of my childhood experience, except one. And so that's the prostitution portion. Right. But all of them, the molestation, the mental health, the alcoholism, all of that was tied into my actual childhood experience. And so what we did was we took my experience and we broke it down into various different characters versus having it all into one character. So that's where it made it a little easier to write, because we were able to, you know, with Stormy knowing my story and my life, it was just a little easier to kind of put everything and write everything. Now, some of the stuff we had is over exaggerated, like Zoe and Jasmine, they that's actually me and my brother. Right.
Oh, okay.
But we made it into two females. And so basically the story that Stormy wanted to kind of get people to see in that one is how two people can be brought up in the same home, but walk out different.
Right.
You know, and so, you know, so if you see Zoe, her father, you know, was in her pretty much, as far as how she dealt with life and things in her relationship. And Jasmine, she took on more of her mother's traits.
Exactly. That's exactly what I saw. Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, go ahead.
No. So that's pretty much what it did, is that we wanted to show the difference in that. And that's kind of how it is with me and my brother. You know,
and you're starting to see Jasmine and Zoe fall into those roles. You know, and I was like, oh man, so that sounds like season 2 is gonna be good. So
only you knew.
So you know, with all those characters and everything, you know, you got, you know, Zoe, Jasmine, Dr. JoJo, Sean, Diamond. I mean, it's so many different characters. And you said each of them has a part of you, except for, you know, the prostitution portion. But how was it therapeutic in some regard, or you know, how was it difficult, you know, putting these characters out there knowing that they came from you? How did that affect you?
Some of them were okay, because like with the molestation portion, I've always talked to people about that, because I want my story to be able to help someone else, especially if I know some women who are a little older than me and they have not yet dealt with that aspect of their life. So I've always talked to individuals about that aspect of my life. The domestic violence portion it's a mental illness part. I've always kind of kept that under wraps because I didn't want a lot of people to know that that was part of my mom's life and stuff and the things that she dealt with. So I never really talked about it a lot. But when Stormy filmed, especially with one portion with the mother and the father in the kitchen,
right?
And I never told her that story, right? And so the way she put it together, it was exactly what happened in our household. So you saw little young Zoe, you see her where she actually see her father ready to hit the mom. That actually happened to me in real life. So it was just like, I couldn't watch it. I stayed off while she filmed it. When she put it together and how she put it together, I got choked up. And it was like that, you know, you get that knot in your throat, you know, just that's how I was feeling when I saw it. And it kind of, at that point, kind of saddened me and put me in my feelings a little bit. And then I kind of had to shake it out because I was like, okay, it's just a film. It's just a film, right? So it was certain parts of that, even the domestic violence portion that people would catch on to at the end between JoJo and Jasmine. You know, I had that portion in previous relationships. And so, you know, some of those things just kind of really made me sit back and just like, damn, I was really screwed up, wasn't I? You know?
That was not what I was expecting to come out of your But you know what? It has to be surreal to sit there and watch your life, portions of your life, played out in front of you. You know, it's like watching your own life story. And hey, hats off to you, Kim. A salute for making that vision, you know, putting that vision out there. And it is uncomfortable. But like you said, you know, you're helping people, you know, by having that out there. It's okay to talk about those things because, you know, unfortunately, you're not the only one. You're not the only kid that went through that, regardless, like I said, of color, you know, background, whatever. There's a lot of kids out there who go through these things. And, you know, for both of y'all to put that out there for, you know, the people see and understand, like, it's okay to talk about these things. It's okay to put them out there. You know, that's good stuff right there. So, so my next question. So, you know, season 1, you know, it's a wrap. What did you learn? What did you learn from season 1 about yourself, about, you know, filmmaking, all this stuff? What did you learn? What's your takeaways?
Well, I learned that I have real good self-control. Because many days I wanted to kill Tamika. And I controlled myself. But,
you gotta have self-control, so
yes, I had to have that control. Also that I learned that I really like the editing part of filmmaking because the editor tells the story.
Right.
You can film all day, but it's the editor who puts it together and tells the story. And it was some nights I was up to 4 and 5 o'clock in the morning just to get it the way I wanted the viewer to see it. And I can watch it and say, okay, yeah, it's good. And if I let Tamika watch it and it didn't make her feel anyway, or she didn't catch it, I would go redo it. So like when I put Sophia's scene together, when she's in the kitchen with the pills and it's going back and forth, and she sees her dead husband, right?
Right, yeah.
So, Tamika watched it. Tamika was in tears. So I let Mr. who plays Cliff, that's his real mother in the film. I let him watch it and he was in tears. So I said, okay, that's what I want, because I want people to feel for her. I need them to feel her pain. Right. And shouts out to, you know, Michelle who plays Sophia, because she played that part to a T. Because without her, I couldn't, you know, my editing skills was good, but her acting skills was a little bit better than the editing. So she made it really easy. So I think that's those are the main things that I learned. And I love to see a project come together, you know, to its full, you know, fruition, and it's done, it's out there, and Tamika put it out there for us.
That's good. The part where he was hiding behind the corner, like smiling, I had to like, did I just see that? Like, he was there cheesing behind the thing. I was like, so, but no, well done. And you're right. It's uncomfortable because she woke up and she's like, "What are you doing here?" And I'm like, "Who the hell is she talking to?" But then you find out later, you know, what's going on. So definitely good stuff. So what about you, Tamika? What'd you learn? What's your big takeaway?
Let's see. That I think for me was that I can actually be as I'm long-winded already, but I can be as long-winded when it comes to writing because I was too busy trying not to say too much when I needed to do more for those episodes to last longer. And so now this season, that's what we did. So I drew out a lot of the conversation and a lot of, I call it useless stuff, right? That
B-roll.
Yeah, that people useless stuff, roll, whatever. That people, like the useless conversation that that you'd be like, okay, what did that have to do with anything? But they had that conversation.
What are we talking about? Like,
yeah, right. So but I knew how. Now I know how to actually put it in and make it drawn out to where now when Stormy gets ready to film and she adds that B-roll in it, it'll make that episode go for now that 25 to 30 minutes versus 17, 19, and that's what we were kind of fighting with before, was trying to drag. We was like, crap, we need something in between that because it's only 14 minutes long. We need to make it at least, So.
I was like, do we need to put a flashback here, or do I need? And I would go on YouTube because I said I was YouTube graduate. I'll go on YouTube and find, because they have footage, and I was like, okay, I can put this footage in and use it there. Like the house, actually Cliff and his mom, where they say that house. I went and found that house. That we didn't shoot in that house. We went and I found that video. I said, oh yeah, this will make it last a little longer.
Oh wow, that's dope. That's
so it's just like little things that we had to. It was like trial and error, And so this season will be a lot better because we know the things that we did wrong last season that we need to correct this season. But one thing I know as artists, that you're never going to fully be satisfied with your work that you do, right? You're going to always find something wrong with it, and you're going to always try to add, you're going to try to remove, you're going to try to tweak it, and so you have to just finally one of us has to say, okay, you got to stop, just leave it alone and let's walk away because we're going to be sitting in front of this computer all night and all.
It's never going to be perfect, right? Like, in your eyes, but to the viewers, it's like, hey, this is right on. But, from the creator standpoint, you always want it because it's your baby. Like I said before, right? You were putting this out here and people are digesting it. So you want to put out the best product possible. Right. So I definitely understand that. So
I have to stop myself a whole lot of times. I'm like, okay, you know what? Because if I look at it, I won't. If she likes it, I won't look at it again. Because if I look at it again, I'm gonna
find something, right? You're gonna find something, pick it apart.
Always. I won't even look at it now because I know I'm gonna find something. Be like, you know what? I need to go in there and change that.
Because she changed like it's so funny because she wanted to go back through and make some changes off of season 1. Because he changed from a platform. He went from one platform to the next. So when he did that, he went offline, and the only way you could see behind closed doors was through the website, right? Or it was on Roku and everything. Right. And so he was upgrading and doing some developing. So then when it was time, he says, okay, can you resend me the episodes? Because now we're on a different platform, and everything. So he put everything. She goes, oh, I can make some changes. You are not going to do nothing. It's out there. It's done. What are you talking about? Why
all I wanted to do was do the one little thing. I don't know if anybody caught it because nobody's ever said anything yet. I don't know if you caught it. The scene with Zoe in the house and going out the house. Did you catch what happened? If you didn't catch it, I'll leave it.
No. Now I'm going to have to go back and watch it. I'm going to have to watch it again and see if I catch it. Because now I'm going to be looking for something.
Yeah.
See, I think that's a rope-a-dope to go back and watch the whole season again. That's what it is.
The thing is though, like I told her, you're only going to catch it and I'm only going to catch it because we were there filming and we was there, whatever. But the average person is not going to catch that. They're not. Just like we watch films now. And we don't necessarily catch it unless it's like something major, right? We don't
like out of whack, right?
Yeah. But then but my thing is, and this is how I feel about it. Hey, Tyler Perry put out some films that he has some major oops in, right? And I'm like, major oops. And for us, it's like, for us to have some oops, it's expected because it's our first film.
Right.
And I'll tell you this, Tyler Perry had, in behind closed doors, we had the same oops as Tyler Perry had in his Fall from Grace. We had that same oops. And I wanted to go in and fix.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you which oops it is, but it's in there.
All right. Tell me off. Yeah. No, I want to be the one to find it. I don't want to. So let me ask you. You got the show. You guys are kicking ass. At the end of the day, what does success look like for you?
For me,
both of you.
Well, because I think ours would be different. For me, it's if we can actually get a major network to actually, and when I say major, it don't have to be ABC, NBC, and nothing like that. I'm talking about, like BET, or heck, it could be Netflix or Hulu as far as I'm concerned. Mm-hmm. But a major network that will pick us up to where we're profitable from it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What about you, Stormy?
To get a product out there that people will watch. And I'm successful. And as long as I can get it and put it together and put it out, I'm good. It's out there, because so many times, so many of us have good ideas and we never put it out, and that's the whole thing. And even with this, even with behind closed doors, it may or may not have happened if it hadn't been for Tamika. So,
you pointed her out the whole interview.
And don't get me wrong when I say profitable. When I say profitable, I'm saying it because our actors and actresses, they're unpaid.
Right.
So I want to be able to pay them something to now they're paid actors and actresses. I want them to be paid for their hard work. We put together a red carpet last year where we got them a limo. We had the live entertainment. We gave, it was paparazzi. We did all that and Stormy even put out the Hollywood stars for them with their names on it. We wanted them to feel like Hollywood and feel like they got paid. Now the next step is I want them to get paid something.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, that's understandable, and it's good that they're doing this because they obviously believe in the show, right? Yeah. So hey, whatever you can do, they know. I don't have to say it, and they know. It's just it's gonna come, and like you said, Stormy, you put out a good product and consistently put out a good product, it's gonna come. So hey, I'm rooting for you. I'm watching. So if there's anything that that I can do or anything to push it, let me know. It's done. So I only got a little bit of influence. I barely got it in my own house.
This season 2 will definitely be a lot of drama and a lot more just jam-packed stuff this season. We have 21 new roles.
Jeez.
Yeah. So we have 21. So we have a lot going on in season 2 that's going to get people doing, and then people probably cursing the TV out, and probably people turn it off and say, I ain't watching no more. And then come back, wait.
You know what? I'm gonna give it another shot.
Yeah. So, you're going to get a lot of emotions flowing in season 2, way more than you got in season 1. Season 1, you probably was at a 4 or 5, and probably by season 2, we're thinking you kind of be about an 8 or a 9.
Because in this one now, not only do you have the main characters, but you have our secondary main characters. We'll be telling their story. Because the main characters now we getting ready to come full circle with them. And start making them, with their, showing their solutions and how they deal with different things. And now you have to keep the story going. You gotta have new characters. So
okay, well, hey, that's something to look for. So with that being said, you already talked about the next season. Outside of behind closed doors, what's next? Or even with behind closed doors, are you looking at a season 3 and onward? What's next?
We are right now. I foresee possibly at least 4 seasons. Okay, that's how I see it. Behind closed doors. Probably see more. I don't know. Probably less. But
everybody's gonna die on a bus accident.
Oh man, that's a Harry Potter land too. I bet Harry Potter land. Make it ironic.
Yeah. But right now, currently, I have it's called the Steimer Awards. That will be we'll have that going on August 22nd. And so the Steimer Awards, what that is a award show that will be similar to the Oscars, the SAG Awards, and so it's praising independent filmmakers, actors, actresses, and musicians. Nice. And it'll be set up the same way. So we have announcers, we have trophies, we have right now it's local. So we have local filmmakers, except one. We did have one from out of California. That's submitted. So it will be the same way with the live entertainers. In between the announcing of best actor, best actress, we had a committee just like the Oscars. So they're the ones that's going to choose. We don't know the people in the committee because they kind of volunteered random from Nevada, California, Florida, Milwaukee. So I mean, yeah, that's kind of what I have going on. That was my project for this year because I wanted Behind Closed Doors to get recognized. Our actors and actresses. Good. And so I came up with the SIMO Awards, and I let the fans choose who would represent Behind Closed Doors for best actor, best actress, things of that nature.
Nice. All right. Hey, that's dope. Look, I'm gonna put it out there right now. I want to be on your media squad to interview folks. Throw me on there. I want to do it. I got a really nice tuxedo T-shirt I can throw on, real classy. so before. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was saying, and then July 4th, NuVysion Media has a lip sync production. So it's gonna be like a mini play, but people are gonna be lip syncing. It's called Behind Bedroom Doors.
The Stages of Love.
Stages of Love.
Whoa, all right. So now, can these people actually sing, or we just got to be fooled by lip syncing?
You'll be fooled by lip syncing. Yeah, you'll be fooled.
Because the song tells the story, so I'm gonna put people
out there. You probably gotta act it out as well, right?
Act out the song.
Okay. I see what you're doing. Well, ladies, before I let you get out of here, I got one more thing for you. Some advice for aspiring directors, producers, media moguls. Lay some gems on them, some jewels.
Well, what I would tell anybody is, don't give up on a dream. If there is something that you want to put out there, don't allow an obstacle to get in your way to prevent you from doing it. You don't have to have anything fancy to make your dream come true. You can use a cell phone. You can use, we had some just basic DSLRs. And have someone that just, if it is nothing but one person to support you and back you up, that's all you need. That's all we had in the beginning, was just us. And then everyone else will come on board as time progresses on. Those who don't come on board, they were not meant to be a part of what you have moving forward.
Sounds good. What about you, Stormy? What you got?
She took mine. She did take one. She did take mine because, like you said, follow your dream. Find you a Tamika if you can. Okay. Somebody that basically your Tamika. And when I say that, find somebody that's gonna be in your corner and push you to do what be the best person you can be. You're gonna have, in this industry, you have a lot of people that say they want to be on your team, and they really trying to sabotage what you're doing. And if somebody does sabotage it, don't stop. Keep going. Because I can guarantee you can't say that you don't like this if you don't do it. Okay. So you can never get to your 50th if you never put out your first.
There you go. He's got to start somewhere, right?
You have to, and that's it. Just start, and that's anything in life. That's just anything. Just start it. If you want to do it, start it. You don't fail until you don't. You don't fail until you don't do. So
when you fall, just dust yourself off.
There it is. Wise words right there. So. All right, I could have kept talking longer, but I know you ladies are busy. Y'all got stuff going on. Y'all got scripts to write, edit.
I got another meeting at 6 here in a minute.
All right, well, okay. So, final thoughts, shout outs, anybody you want to mention, anything like that. This is your time, so have at it.
I want to give a shout out to all the cast members of Behind Closed Doors. Thank y'all so much for everything that y'all have done, the dedication you've given into the show. I also want to give a shout out to the On channel. So Maurice Woods for giving us the opportunity of being on the On channel. And now he has a new president of the On channel, Brian J. White. So Emmy nominated actor. So we're excited about that. And we just hope that everything continues to go up from here. And we want to thank all of our fans as well for the support of Behind Closed Doors.
Sounds good.
I want to, say thanks to all the production team, everybody who helped with the series, the music producers that came through, the singers that came through, and gave us their music to use. I want to thank that. And I definitely want to thank all the media people who have interviewed us and, help push the word of Behind Closed Doors. So I really appreciate all you guys. Thank you.
All right. Well said. So before we get up out of here, let's do the wrap up, right? So we've been rapping here for about almost an hour and a half. So I got Kim and Tamika Archie, filmmakers, visionaries, dreamers, whatever you want to call them. Y'all got the full package. So co-founders and owners of NuVysion Media Group, actors, filmmakers from Behind Closed Doors on the On channel. Check it out. If you don't have the app, fellow Marauders, go ahead and you can pull it up on your Roku device, your Fire Stick device. Check it out. It's good stuff. It digs deep, but it's heavy topics wrapped in a fun package. And I really think you'll enjoy it. And the episodes are digestible. They're not real long. You get the facts, you get some good content, and then you're on to the next. Before you know, you'll burn through those 6 episodes like nothing. So I appreciate y'all sharing, your stories, your influences. I'm still shaky on the Harry Potter stuff, but you seem cool, so I'll let it go this time. But your inspirations, Tyler Perry, Ron Howard, Robert Townsend, it's within this hour and a half that we've been talking, I've actually learned a lot about y'all, and I appreciate y'all giving me a shot to interview you and have you guys tell your story on the Culture Marauders podcast. So with that being said, y'all are fellow Marauders and you're always welcome back. So if I had some merch, I would give it to you. All I have is rubber bands and buttons, but the stuff is coming. So just stand by.
I'll give you my address. Thank you.
Matter of fact, once we get off of here, if you could send me your address through Messenger, I will send you some Behind Closed Doors merchandise that we have.
Hey, I'll take it. All right. So thank you for coming on. I like to give my shout outs as usual before we wrap it up. I want to give a shout out to like I said, thank you Tamika and Kim for coming on and giving me a shot to tell your story and give it to the listeners out there. I want to thank the listeners out there, the fellow Marauders, those who are following, watching, and tuning in every week, whether I got a strong show like I have today, or I'm just on some bullshit. Thank you for tuning in and just rocking with me. And also, the essential workers out there, the healthcare workers out there, still putting in the work, grinding week in and week out. It looks like we're on the upswing, but then it turns back around. Hey, just stay strong, keep rocking, and we appreciate everything you do, putting yourself in harm's way, and making sure that we have the things that to keep a good quality of life for us. And putting yourself out there for that. Thank you to the military out there. You guys are still doing the mission, still rocking and rolling out there in the midst of ass backwards country, along with the crazy stuff that's happening, and then you got COVID on top of that. Thank you for doing what you do. The Marauders support you always. And then I want to give a shout out to my family, my wife, always supporting me, always allowing me to dream and do this and go in here, have some fun and meet new people and do it like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and lay all where you can find the Culture Marauders. Actually, where can we find you? Your social media and stuff like that. Where can we find you on there?
NuVysion Media group is on Facebook, and NuVysion Media on Instagram and Twitter, and Tamika Archie Nights on Facebook, and this is Stormy Nights on with 2 eyes.
Eyes are always on you.
Got to mix it up.
And also you can catch our website is www.NuVisionMediaGroup.com.
When does season 2 start? When does season 2 start?
Our plan is to have it out on Thanksgiving Day, which is it's the same. It's the same as we did last year. Last year we aired our first 2 episodes on Thanksgiving Day. So that's what we're doing. We're hoping to do this year is have our first 2 episodes air on Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah. Also on the social media, join the Behind Closed Doors group as well.
Yeah.
All right, there it is.
You get all the information when it's going to start. You get to see. You might even get to see some previews and some stuff. So behind the scenes clips.
Behind the scenes of Behind Closed Doors, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
There it is. So as usual, you can find the Culture Marauders at the Culture Marauder or _Culture_Marauders on Instagram, and as well as on Facebook at the Culture Marauders. And then if you got anything you want us to hit up and maraud on, hit us up at theculturemarauders@gmail.com. So with that being said, I also want to give a special shout out to former Utah Jazz coach Jerry Sloan. Passed a couple days ago. I put him second behind Phil Jackson, consistent. And, he didn't bring home the championship, but the influence that he left in that city and with that franchise will be felt from, when he stepped down on. So shout out to Jerry Sloan and the Sloan family. And with that being said, Culture Marauders, thank you, ladies, and much success going forward. I'm definitely going to be tuning in to see how this rocks, and hopefully we can link up again and talk about season 3 and 4. So
definitely.
So with that being said, Culture Marauders, we're out. One culture, one blood, one love. Peace.